So how fast do you want to die? Oh, I'm sorry. Somebody must have told you that this was going to be some sort of calm day where you learned like cute facts from people in colorful pants, but it's my turn now. And for my turn, I'd really like to remind you of your own mortality. So, how comfortable are you with your impending doom? Pretty comfy. All right, cool. I ask you this question because you are all making choices every day that wildly affect your lifespan. And usually, you make those choices without giving them any sort of second thought. Now, according to the watch I'm not wearing, I've got about 8 minutes left of this talk. And in those 7 minutes and 55 seconds, I want to draw your attention to the choices you're making every morning, noon, and night. And I want to give you a tool to make them better. Of course, I should backtrack. Don't give me too much credit for the life-changing, quasi-religious experience that you're about to get from my talk. You see, the ideas that I'm using date all the way back to the ancient Greek philosophy of hedonism. And we find them today in modern academic disciplines like the cost-benefit analysis of economics. What I'm about to ask you to do, you already know how to do, and you do it all the time. Every time you generate a mental pro-con list of spending the summer with your family or getting on that hot guy's motorcycle and spending the summer wherever he takes you, well, that's philosophizing like a Greek. So let's get started. Here's a hypothetical. What if I told you that I could get you a job, the most amazing job in the world, but it would kill you a little bit faster than you're already dying? Let's say I take this young man here in the front row, and I tell him I can snap my fingers and make him president of the United States. As president, he could positively impact the country. He could save dozens or hundreds or thousands of lives, but it would kill him a little faster, wouldn't it? The stress from that job would wear on him in a predictable fashion, and he'd lose some of the life he would have otherwise had. That's less summers with your family, less days spent by the pool. Do you take it? Should he? I definitely take that job. I take it and I run with it, and I make the world a better place. And if I die in my late 80s instead of my early 90s, that's fine. I'd greet death as a friend knowing what I had done was worth it. But that hypothetical is probably way too easy for most of you, so let me give you a second one. Let's say I tell this young woman here in the front row that every day for the rest of her life, I will give her one hit of sweet, pure Colombian cocaine. It's guaranteed to make her high as a kite and happy as a clam for at least 20 minutes a day. Of course, it is going to kill her a little faster because, spoiler alert, hey, cocaine kills you. That stuff is going to ruin her kidneys and really mess up her brain chemistry. And not only is she going to lose some of her life, she's going to lose some of her friends and family along the way, too. So what do? Do you take it? Yes. All right. I don't take that deal. That cocaine is going to kill me a lot faster than being president would. And I wouldn't get near as much satisfaction from it. For me, the costs outweigh the benefits. So you're probably thinking, how does any of this relate to you? I told you you made these decisions every day, and that stuff's crazy. So let's get out of the hypotheticals. When we talk about nutrition, we're essentially asking the same questions I've been asking these people in the front row. You see, I'm already addicted to cocaine. More accurately, I'm addicted to semi-dried pieces of apple. They've got the texture of marshmallow. Oh my God. And it's really satisfying sound when you bite them. Oh, it just tastes super good. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. Okay, all right, I'm back. These things are delicious. They are my favorite treat. I love them so much, I scripted in that excuse to eat one in front of you for this talk. But usually, I only eat them on Saturdays and Sundays. Now you may be thinking, but Destiny Rose, you just said they were fruit. That means they're healthy. If they're really your favorite thing, why aren't you eating them all the time, always, constantly, and forever? And the answer is, my cocaine-y little apple bits kill me just like the cocaine I'm giving her after this show. As fruit, they're jam-packed with sugar, which can feed unhealthy bacteria in my body and trigger flashbulb insulin responses that can lead to diabetes in the long term. Now, they're not as bad as, say, something like soda, which in my current example is kind of like super meth, but they're also not as good as something like mushrooms, which in this current example is kind of like mushrooms. I know my cocaine-y apple bits kill me a little, so I've chosen to only eat them on days that start with S. When Saturday rolls around and I've been good all week eating my leafy greens, I grab a bag of those babies and I go full Scarface on them. That kills me a little bit, but I'm okay with it. I'm okay with that much death in my life. I've made the decision to do that using the Greek philosophy I mentioned at the very beginning of the talk, the Hedonistic Calculus. The Hedonistic Calculus is a mental exercise where you look at a choice and you try to figure out all the pain and pleasure it could cause you in the future. What you're trying to do here is really get an understanding of all the consequences of every action you make. The goal of the calculus is to make your life as good as it can be. For me to have a maximally pleasurable life, I gotta live a long time so I can eat a lot of delicious stuff. For me to live a long time, I have to watch what I eat, because a tub of cookie dough for breakfast would be delicious, but it would only be delicious for a couple of weeks until that inevitable heart attack made its deliciousness pretty irrelevant. So I keep my sweets small, and I've learned to cook vegetables in a way that makes them taste just sort of less generally sad. That makes my life a lot longer, giving me way more weekends to cover myself in apple bits. Some of you probably strongly disagree with the restrictions that I've put on myself after doing my own calculus. You say, take the high-profile job and take the Colombian cocaine too. And if you drink a soda every day in the Oval Office, that's nobody's business but yours. Some of you, though, I'd bet, sort of vaguely want to see your grandkids, or you want to see the world become a better place, or you at least want to see the last of the new Star Wars movies. Yeah? All right, cool. So whatever your personal cocaine is, I bet you'd give up just a little bit of it to see those things. All I'm asking you to do is think about it. Think about how happy a Snickers bar or a piece of white bread makes you. And then go and learn how fast that thing is killing you. And the next time you see a bowl of candy or a bowl of pasta, pause a moment and think about how long you want to live, how happy that thing makes you, and how fast it's killing you when you eat it. Maybe you'll be like me. You'll eat mushrooms most days, you'll save Coke for the weekends. Maybe you'll be like some of my really healthy friends who just live an entire life of chicken breast and kale. Or maybe you will reorganize your priorities and you'll go and buy stock and potato chips. It is quite literally your funeral. I can't make that decision for you, but you should know what's killing you. And when you find out, I encourage you to find your own balance between kale and cocaine. Thanks. I'll see you after the show for that Coke.